Hi everyone, I'm Keisha, the founder of Crossing Cultures, and welcome back for some more of my tips. So, if you have applied for a job to work in the Middle East in education, you would know right now if you are making that plunge, if you've been accepted to work in a school out here, because the recruitment has already started, it's well on its way, and many schools have now made a decision of who they want to join their team for next year. So, these are some of the things that you need to bear in mind. Not every school pays the same salary. Okay, I think some of you may already know that. And it's quite difficult to find out like which schools pay the most without having the connection of speaking to other people, other teachers that are already here. So I would advise that if you know somebody that's already based in the Middle East, in any school that you are exploring in that particular country, some teachers might not be comfortable expressing or declaring sharing their salary or their benefits. But if you are close enough to somebody, they might feel comfortable enough to tell you this is their package, this is what they get, this is their basic, and these are all the add-ons or the additional allowances that top up your basic salary. So it changes for everybody. And it is disheartening when you find out that you're getting paid in some cases like £1,000, $1,000 less than another teacher in a different school who is doing exactly the same role as you. It's very disheartening, but you have to do your research. So don't be afraid to ask the school, what is my actual allowances and my basic before you sign the contract? Just be really clear about it, because at the end of the day, you need to be able to afford your lifestyle here, especially if you have bills back home, mortgages, other financial commitments. You need to make sure that the money's stacking up right. Another question is, what happens if you make that plunge, you get out here and the school sells you this vision, and when you get to the school, you're not seeing, or the culture doesn't align to what you thought it was going to be like? And I'm trying to say things in a really nice professional manner. And that can happen anywhere, not just in education. You know, you join a company, you join a school, and you have this idea of what you think it's going to be like. And sometimes you just don't fit in that environment, and that's okay. So what do you do if you sign a 2-year contract and you're within the first year and you don't see yourself fulfilling the second year? And it can be disappointing. It can be, in some cases, quite depressing, because you really want to make sure that you're happy where you are. And there's no guarantee with that until you get there. And that's when you know whether or not if this is the right place for you. And I know in some cases it feels like it's too late at that stage. But there have been cases where other teachers have joined a school and they haven't started the second year and they're still within their first year. So maybe around February, they have applied for another school that they feel is better suited for them. And that school has, in some cases, taken on teachers that are in a 2-year contract. So what that basically means is that you will then need to break the second year contract with the school, but you're still within your time to give them enough notice to re-advertise your posts to start employing somebody else to start that following academic year. So don't feel like if you're in a school that you are completely not happy with, that the only solution is to go home or to be unhappy for the duration of your contract. Now, we all know, ideally, you want to see through the contract. But if the sacrifice is you feel like your reputation is going to be tarnished in that school, and versus your happiness to fulfill a role in a school that's better suited, you have to weigh up what you feel comfortable with, because it is a massive risk. Because at the same time, what could possibly happen is schools, teachers know each other. You go for this interview and that head teacher might know the head teacher of the school that you currently work at, and they might go to that head teacher and say, this particular staff member interviewed at my school. Now, it will be fine if you're successful, but if you're not successful, you have to kind of think about, okay, what kind of taste is that going to leave and atmosphere is that going to create for yourself? But do not be discouraged. If you're really open and transparent and you have integrity with what you do and you speak to the school and say, look, I'm really not happy, the solution that you're going to have is to apply for another school or to end your contract and go home. But in some cases, from the cases that I know of, what other teachers have actually done is gone for the interview to see if they're successful, wait until they're successful, sign the contracts, and then inform the school that you're currently at in terms of writing your resignation and resigning from that position. And of course, the school's not going to be happy about it, because if they're losing a really good teacher, then, you know, it will impact how they plan for the following year. But you also have to think about your experience. This is your life. And if you're not happy, nothing else matters, to be honest with you. So every situation is going to be different. And there's many different stories of success and things not working out exactly how you want it to work out when you do apply for these other roles. But I would say keep trying. It is possible. Okay, just keep connecting, keep networking, keep joining different events that you see popping up out and about. Get to know who people are. And the most important thing is be a quality educator, because that's something that no one can take from you, is your skills to be a great educator. So anyway, I hope that was really useful. And like I said, everybody's situation is going to be completely different. And ultimately, you have to do what is right for you. Okay, that's enough of me. So stay tuned for another update on more tips and more advice that I might be able to offer you. Thank you for listening, guys. I hope that helped. And stay tuned for more tips on crossing cultures.